Hey there! Right here we have the aquatic turtles, which live in the oceans and seas. They are reptiles and they have a shell made of cartilage and keratin, which is a protein in human nails. These turtles, like many reptiles and amphibians, possess three-chambered hearts. These hearts are less efficient than our human four-chambered hearts, but they are key necessary adaptations that show how fish two-chambered hearts came to evolve into four-chambered hearts throughout evolution back in the day.
Is their shell made of calcium carbonate as well, or should we try and verify that information somewhere?
These turtles are pretty cool.
So we got turtle number 22 here. Double that, you got 44.
Oh yeah.
And we got turtle number 83, living in these nice aquarium conditions.
Let's go.
Hi, today we're here with our Nigerian samples. We have some jellyfish, medusa, free-floating Nigerian samples. These are wonderful samples. They have very sophisticated neurological features, and as you can see, they have no backbones, and they are very nice and soft and muscular.
These creatures behind us are cnidarians. They come in two general forms, free-swimming medusae and the stationary polyp. Right here are the free-swimming medusa that we are seeing now. Cnidarians have radial symmetry, which means if you cut them in any direction in half, they will look exactly the same on both halves.
So this would be the tentacles of the medusa jellyfish.
Should be enough.
Cnidarians have tentacles surrounding the mouth, which they use to capture their prey and feed. The tentacles can be as long as 100 feet or as short as a few millimeters. Every cnidarian possesses stinging cells called nematocysts, which contain neurotoxins designed to paralyze their prey while the jellyfish consumes it. The cnidarians cannot sting themselves because their bodies can recognize their own chemical signals. Whenever the tentacles are stimulated physically, they automatically fire the harpoon-like needles designed to inject the prey with venom.
On the larger jellyfish.
Watch out with your hands.
Yeah. They can grow up to as much as 15 feet in meters. So, I'm just recording a little bit more.
Yeah, get your fingers out of the picture, out of the recording. Good stuff. Good stuff. We're gonna see how the voice sounds because it won't actually be loud when you actually put it in the computer. So
It's hard to see with the background because the background is blue.
I just started recording.
This is the polyp version of a cnidarian. It is like an upside-down jellyfish stuck on a substratum such as a rock or ground. It is a passive predator, waiting for prey to wander into its deadly tentacles. Polyps use mucus secretions to stay attached to a substratum surface. Their bodies are cylindrical in shape. Here we see a shrimp being attacked by a hungry polyp. The digestive tract of the cnidarians lacks a second or anal opening and consists only of a mouth and a sac-like cavity. A polyp has its mouth and tentacles facing upward. Some fish use polyps as a safe place to reside. They avoid getting stung by nematocysts by secreting a chemical signature that mimics the polyp's chemical signal, which makes the polyp ignore the fish. This is an example of a commensalism where one organism benefits while the other is neither harmed nor helped.
Right now it's eating a shrimp.
It's not really done it.
Oh, it's about to.
See, it's not even latched on one of the tentacles.
It's like poison.
That's enough.
Yeah, that's good.
Some cnidarians can reproduce asexually, while others can reproduce sexually. The medusa's shape causes a lot of drag, which is bad for swimming speed. However, the muscular contraction of the dome-shaped umbrella forces water out and propels the medusa in the opposite direction. The medusa can also use this muscle contraction of its body shape to create vortexes of water that can suck in prey into its tentacles. These medusa shown are not bioluminescent, but rather the rainbow glow comes from the light reflecting off the medusa's cilia, which are small hair-like projections that beat simultaneously to move the jellyfish through the water.
Nice. What we have here is an example of a tropical reef. There are many species of Porifera here. There are some polyps too, and there are some very rainbow colorful fish.
Some cnidaria also floating around in the back.
Corals are symbiotic creatures that have a mutualistic relationship with certain types of photosynthetic algae. The algae makes food for the coral, while the coral provides a host for the algae in return. If the algae does not produce food for the coral will evict the algae and will bleach and die. The algae converts carbon dioxide, sunlight, and water into oxygen and glucose. The algae in the coral is the biggest source of photosynthetically produced oxygen in the oceans.
Hi, today we're gonna take some footage of some awesome marine birds called penguins.
They're pretty high up on the food chain, obviously, because they can eat fish and they can eat a lot of other things in the ocean.
There it is.
Adam, watch out.
So we have some penguins doing some territorial mating calls, apparently. Penguins are the top of the smaller fish food chain, but they usually wind up as food for killer whales and sometimes seals and sea lions,
They're trying to mate.
as well as sharks. So these birds are at the top of the pack, or the flock. And that's pretty cool. So,
Here we have a sample of the big whale shark.
looks like some hunter captured this massive giant. Could swallow a human whole.